What's going on, people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. Guess what? Today is the start of the Easter weekend, and since today is Good Friday, let's hope that your teams will have a really good Easter weekend. Good Friday is for me as a Christian, we celebrate Good Friday, because 2 days um earlier, 2 days later, it is Easter Sunday. And you know what that means? That Jesus died on the cross and saved our sins. And yeah, Jesus rose from the dead. So that's why we celebrate Good Friday. And today, up until Monday, is a hot Easter holiday weekend. This Monday is bank holiday, so that means there will be no school. Well, the first week of Easter holiday is done, but there's another week, and then after that, it is back to schools, colleges, work, and all that stuff. So, yeah. So let's hope Chelsea can have a really good Easter weekend when we face Wolves. Let's see if Arsenal can have a really great Easter if they can beat Liverpool and do the double of them for the first time since the 09-10 season. Let's see if Tottenham can at least get back to winning ways after they've drawn against Everton. Let's see if Man United can have a good Easter weekend if they continue to have a really great form against Everton. And let's see if Man City can end that dreadful away record against Southampton at St Mary's. And yeah, and I think that's it. Let's hope that West Ham could get back to winning ways. The same thing goes for Leicester after they lost the midweek. And yeah, if your teams can have a good Easter weekend, then well done to you. But if not, then your team is in trouble, really is in trouble. So there you go. So since today is Friday or Good Friday, it is time for me to predict this weekend's game week number 30, I believe, or 29. Let me have a quick look. I think it's 30, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just have a look. Yeah, game week 30. Yeah. So today is game week 30. So it's time for me to predict that. But before we get started, if you guys haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button if you're new. Smash a like if you enjoyed this video. Click the bell notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content. And make sure you click the share button so that you and your friends and your family can come along, watch this video, and give your predictions in the comments down below. So without further ado, let me start off with the 12:30 p.m. kickoff, and that is Manchester United versus Everton, and that game kicks off at Old Trafford. And of course, Man United's last home game was against Brentford early, le- earlier this week, and they've beaten them by 1 goal to nil. Now, my prediction was 1-1 because I didn't want to predict a Brentford win because it's at Old Trafford, and Old Trafford is a fortress. No team has ever gone there and beat Man United at Old Trafford. The only team to do that was Brighton, at the beginning of the season, but any other team has never gone there and beaten them, even the likes of Barcelona, so that's why I wanted to go for a draw. But Brentford really disappointed me. They really did. I mean, I haven't seen much of them. I know they have chances, but they didn't really test David De Gea too much. So I was really disappointed for Brentford not to at least get a point, at Old Trafford. So yeah, they're really disappointing. But let's hope that Everton can do what Brentford should have done at Old Trafford. Now, of course, Man United have got a good record against Everton, but listen, Sean Dyche here is doing a fantastic job at Everton. He's unbeaten, drew against Tottenham. I think they drew against Chelsea. They beat in Brentford and all that stuff. So, yeah, he still remains unbeaten. And if you have a look at the table here, Everton are in 16th. They're on the same points as West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, and Leicester City. Of course, West Ham have got a game in hand. The same thing goes for Fulham, Liverpool, and Brighton have got 2 games in hand. Newcastle, Man United, and Man City have got games in hand. So this could be interesting. Now, of course, the only way for Everton to not be in the bottom three is that they don't lose against Manchester United and make sure that other teams such as Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, um, Leicester City, and all that stuff win their games. So they need to make sure that they get a good result against Man United or Old Trafford and make sure that other teams drop points so that they could stay up under Sean Dyche. So yeah, so my first thought is that Man United are going to win probably 1-0. But listen, Sean Dyche just knows what he's doing, you know. When Chelsea played them, I expected a Chelsea win, but it was actually a draw. Then when they faced Tottenham, I expected Tottenham to get a win because Antonio Conte excited, but that didn't happen. So let's see what happens if I predict a draw this time because I want to go for Man United win, but if I predict that, then I'm going to get it wrong again. So this time, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 between these two because Everton are fighting for the life, while Man United, they're in the top four. Of course, they've got a game in hand. But if Tottenham beat Brighton, that means, and if Man United draw, they will still be in the top four. But that means they'll only be 1 point ahead of them. So Man United need to get the win. But like I said, you know, they were very, very lucky to win that game because Brentford, like I said, didn't offer them that much. But listen, Man United only put one past them, and it could have been more. But they have to thank David De Gea for the save. So yeah, let's see if Everton can do much better when they face Man United when Brentford did earlier this week. So that's why I trust them. I'm gonna go for 1-1. Everton are gonna make it so difficult if they defend well, if they can just dominate Man United for a couple of minutes and then just hold on, then yeah, I can see them not losing this game tomorrow. So Easter Saturday, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw at the 12:30 p.m. kickoff. And let's not forget, teams don't really do well at 12:30 p.m. kickoff. You know, when Arsenal face Everton, 12:30 p.m. kickoff, they've lost. When Man City face Brentford, 12:30 p.m. kickoff, they've lost. When Chelsea faced West Ham, they drew. So, and when Liverpool, they just hate 12:30 p.m. kickoffs. They really, really do. So, yeah, since this is a 12:30 p.m. kickoff, I have to go for a draw 1-1 between that. So, yeah, there we go. Right, Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. Now, of course, I didn't expect Aston Villa to win because they sacked Brendan Rodgers and they brought him into a manager. So that's why I wanted to. So that's why I thought Leicester to get the win. But Una Emery is really improving. I mean, if you look at the table here, Aston Villa are in seventh place. They're 1 point behind. I mean, above Liverpool. Well, of course, Liverpool go game in hand. And if you look at this year, they're not that far from the top four. They're really not that far. They're only 9 points behind Man United and Newcastle. So the only way I can see Aston Villa being in the top four is that if they win 3 games in a row and Newcastle, Man United, and Tottenham keep dropping points. That's the only way. But do I see Aston Villa finishing in the top four? No. But I do see them finishing in Europe because they're only 2 points behind Brighton. Of course, Brighton have got 2 games in hand, so I feel like they may finish in seventh place, the Conference League. You know, even though it's a silly competition, at least there's no big teams that are in that competition. So there you go. So yeah, so can Unai Emery lead them to the Conference League? We should wait and see. So yeah, he's done a really really good job. You know, beating Chelsea, beating Aston Villa. He's on really good form. So I feel like sacking Steven Gerrard and bringing in Unai Emery was the right thing for the Aston Villa owner to do because before Unai Emery came in, Aston Villa was in 17th, you know, and they were this close to being in relegation form. But Unai Emery turned it around and puts them in 7th, which is the Conference League places. So yeah, he's doing a really good job. So the Aston Villa owner has done a really good job. For Nottingham Forest, though, they've lost against Leeds. I thought it was going to be a draw, but that didn't happen. So, yeah. So, since this is at Villa Park and since the atmosphere is going to be really good, I don't think Nottingham Forest winning this game. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Aston Villa win. I think Nottingham Forest will score because they do score goals, but they don't. But I can't remember the last time they scored more than one goal. So I feel like they will score, but Aston Villa will get that win. I feel like Ollie Watkins will score and maybe John McGinn. So yeah, those are going to be my goal scorers. So Ole Watkins is on fine form, and yeah, and even Aston Villa is on fine form. So I'm going to go for 2-1, and this is the Midlands derby because Aston Villa is based in the West Midlands in Birmingham, whilst for Nottingham Forest it's based in Nottingham in the East Midlands. So this is sort of like a Midlands derby. So yeah, looking forward to that one. 2-1 to Brentford. Sorry, 2-1 to Aston Villa is going to be my prediction on that one. They'll definitely get that win. All right, the next game is Brentford versus Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle United has got to be one of the best performances ever and their biggest result ever this season because they beat West Ham United. Now, of course, I went for 2-1 because London Stadium, even though West Ham are relegated, the atmosphere is still good. So that's why I went for a 2-1 Newcastle United win. But honestly, West Ham United, I feel like if they don't keep this up and David Moyes still be at the job, I feel like they will get relegated because I watched that game and their performance was absolutely shocking. Even the defender was absolutely shocking. At half time, it was 2-1. When Kurt Zuma scored that goal, I said, um, you know, the West Ham fans were happy because they were thinking to themselves, listen, that's good, but it's not good enough. We need to score 2 goals in order to win this game. And I don't know what the halftime team talk was under David Moyes. Did he say, just go out and just continue what you're doing, make sure you don't do silly mistakes and all that stuff? Or he just said, Newcastle are better now, so let's just lose to them. Because that second half was diabolical. I mean, West Ham's defense just lost the ball, and 22 seconds in, I think it was Callum Wilson that scored that goal. Yeah, and Callum Wilson's last one against West Ham United, he really does. The third goal was shocking, and every single goal was absolutely shocking from West Ham. That's got to be the worst performance I've ever seen for the Premier League team this season. Worst ever. Of course, Liverpool Man United game was worse, but yeah, but listen, that was a blip. And plus, Man United are in the top four, they won a trophy. But for West Ham, you know, they were in the bottom, so that's got to be maybe one of the second worst Premier League results I've ever seen. So, yeah, so for Newcastle, they are flying. They're on the same points as Manchester United. Of course, both teams have got a game in hand. So, yeah, I didn't expect Newcastle to finish in the top four. I said the teams who finish in the top four are Arsenal first, Man City second, Man United third, and Tottenham fourth. But it looks like Tottenham are bottling it. They always bottle it. So for me, if Tottenham don't beat Brighton, then I'm gonna have to change my top four predictions, um, which is Arsenal first, Man City second. The third and fourth are difficult ones because, like I said, both Man United and Newcastle are on the same point. So there you go. So the third and fourth is going to be difficult, but we should wait and see what happens from now until the end of the season because there's only 8 games left. Well, 9 games for teams that got game in hand. So there you go. Yeah, I've talked about Brentford's. They didn't do well against Man United. But here's an interesting stat. Brentford have only lost one game at home this season, only one. And that was against Arsenal. I think that was in October in that London derby, something like that. So, yeah. So it is at home, but listen, Newcastle are really good away from home, and they're battling up and they're fighting for the Champions League. So I don't think they'll destroy West Ham just like I don't think they'll destroy Brentford like they did against West Ham. But I think it's going to be another Newcastle United win. I'm going to go for 2-1. For Brentford, Ivan Toney will score. For Newcastle, I see Callum Wilson and probably Mika Arsenal, know he's injured. Maybe Maybe Kieran Trippier scoring that free kick. Yeah, those are going to be the goal scorers for that game. Ivan Toney to score for Brentford, Callum Wilson and Kieran Tierney for Newcastle. So yeah, it's going to be a tight one. Of course, I wanted to go for a draw, maybe perhaps 2-2, but listen, Newcastle don't concede loss of goals, so that's why I'm going to have to go for Newcastle United win of 2-1. They're on fine form. For Brentford, though, they need to win if they want to have a chance of finishing in Europe. So, yeah, I'm also looking forward to that game. Maybe that game, Brentford Newcastle Def. Oh, I can't even watch that because Chelsea Wolves game is at 3 p.m. Oh shit. Oh well, but I'll give you guys up to dates for the scores at half time. So there you go. So 2-1 to Newcastle is going to be my prediction on that one. Why this one, London Derby, Fulham against West Ham United. Of course, Fulham lost their game against Bournemouth, and West Ham lost against Newcastle. But listen, West Ham are in a much tougher position than Fulham. If both teams were in the bottom, then maybe I would have gone for a draw. But since Fulham are in let's see, Fulham are in 10th place, the same points as Chelsea, they need to win if they want to at least get into Europe. But for that to happen, they need to keep on winning. Other teams need to keep on dropping points. So there you go. For this game in the London Derby, I'm sorry, West Ham fans, but I don't see you beating Fulham. It's going to be have to go for a 2-1 for the win because I think West Ham will score the likes of Mikel Antonio, but for Fulham, it's at home and West Ham are not in a really great position. So you have to go for 2-1 for the win. I feel like um, I'm not sure who's going to be the goal scorers for Fulham. I really don't know. But for West Ham, I know that Mikel Antonio is going to score that goal for West Ham United. So all I know is that Fulham are going to get this win because West Ham United, if you look at the table, they are in 15th place, the same points as Everton, Forest, Bournemouth. So they need to get this win, West Ham. Otherwise, they're in deep, deep trouble. So, and plus, I'm really surprised to see David Moyes still be at the job because, you know, look at Leicester. They're in 18th place, and they said their manager. What will happen if they were they in 17th, 18th place? Do you do you do the fans expect David Moyes to stay? No. So the owner needs to do the right job of sacking David Moyes. Even though they're playing in Europe, for me, West Ham's position is not good enough, and it and that is untenable from the manager. So he needs to start picking up wins, but. Do I see them beating Fulham in a London derby, especially at Craven Cottage? I don't think so. So 2-1 to Fulham is going to be my prediction on that one. So yeah, sorry West Ham fans, but you're just not that great. I don't want you to get relegated, but if you don't keep on winning, then you're going down, unfortunately. So you need to improve 100%. Right. The next one is Leicester City versus Bournemouth. Now, of course, this is the battle for survival too. I mean, Bournemouth on 27 points, whereas for Leicester City they're on 25 points. So if 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 Bournemouth win, they'll be out of the relegation zone depending on the other fixtures, and West and Leicester City will be down still. And if Leicester City don't win and Southampton do, that means they'll be bottom. So Leicester City need to get this win. They really need to do because both teams lost during the midweek. Both lost against Brighton and Leicester City lost against Aston Villa. So it's a must-win game for both teams, especially for Leicester City. So this time, I predicted Leicester City win against Aston Villa. That didn't happen. But surely this time, surely they need to beat Bournemouth because, you know, even though Gary O'Neill started off really well, they're still in a relegation battle. So for me, Leicester City need to get this win. It's at the King Power Stadium, and I don't want them to go down because of the last couple of years, they've won the Premier League, they've won the FA Cup, they won the Champions League, they won the Community Shield. So I don't want Leicester to go down. The only way for them to do that is to pick up wins and make sure that other teams drop points. So yeah, Leicester City need to get this win if they want to survive. So this time, I'm going to predict a Leicester City win. But if they don't beat Bournemouth, the next game I have to go for. Then I won't predict a Leicester City win because honestly, they need to really improve Leicester City. They really do. I hope they beat Bournemouth and I hope they keep on winning. When the new manager comes in, we don't know what new manager is coming in, the likes of Graham Potter, Pochettino, and that stuff. But listen, they need to make the right decision at the right time. So yeah, so surely Leicester City need to get this win 2-0. Right, the next game, Tottenham Hotspur against Brighton. Of course, Brighton won during their midweek game. Of course, the game in hand was for Tottenham. They drew on Monday Night Football. So yeah, he- listen. My first one is that it's going to be a draw at least since at the Tottenham ground. But listen, Brighton are in really good form. If you look at the table here, they are 7 points behind Manchester United in the top four. So any team can get the top four. The likes of Newcastle, Man United, Tottenham, and Brighton. Man City and Arsenal will definitely be in the top four, 100%. But for Newcastle, Man United, Tottenham, Brighton, and maybe Aston Villa too, and the rest of those teams, they're battling out for the top four, so anything can happen. So for this game, since Stellini still plays and Tony Conte still goes three at the back, honestly, like I don't see them beating Brighton. It's gonna be to Brighton at least because as Villa went there and beat them, certain teams went there and beat them. So yeah, so I have to go for Bayern Munich 2-0. They're playing absolute brilliant football. I think they win the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley when they're facing I think it's Manchester United, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, they're this season under Roberto Di Zerbi. They're absolutely on fire, And imagine if Brighton actually finish in the top four and be in the Champions League. Honestly, that would be amazing but shocking too and surprising because none of us, even me, would have ever predicted Brighton to finish in the top four. But like I said, the reason why we're doing that is because there's certain teams that have been allowing Brighton to do that, and those teams are Chelsea and Liverpool. Liverpool below Brighton, and the same thing goes for Chelsea. So that's why both teams are allowing Brighton to be in the top four and Tottenham too. So yeah, I still don't think Brighton will finish in the top four, but if they do, then well done. Congratulations. And yeah, maybe they probably deserved it after they sacked Graham Potter. So there you go. So, but I still don't think they'll finish in the top four. So sorry, Brighton fans. But if you do, then I'll eat my humble pie and I'll apologize to you. But yeah, I don't see you guys making top four. I do see you making in Europe, maybe the Europa League, but the Champions League, no way. But listen, there's games to go, so anything can happen. So yeah, but this game, if Stellini goes three at the back, I don't see Tottenham winning. But if he changes his formation, maybe. But listen, he's copying Antonio Conte, so yeah. So Brighton are going to win, and Tottenham need to be careful about Matilio. I forgot how to pronounce that name. Vitalio, yeah, that's it. They need to be careful of him because he's a really good player. He's a really good player. He can score, he can get past players, so they need to be careful of him and the rest of the Brighton players too. So, yeah, 2-0 to Brighton. They'll keep a clean sheet. They'll beat Tottenham, yeah, just like they did last season. So, it's going to be 2-0 to them at least. Look at my God, there's so many 3 p.m. kickoff. I feel like this is going to be the last one, and it is, yeah. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Chelsea. Now, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to save that for the preview, so make sure you guys check that out. But all I know is that it's going to be nil-nil. Even on the Lampard is using a 4-3-3 formation, because when he faced Wolves the last time, we've lost to them 2-1, and his first season we beat them 5-2. So I don't know if Chelsea are gonna ever score goals and ever beat the team because we were so unlucky not to beat Liverpool because we wasted so many chances. That game was boring, but Chelsea should have won. We should have leave Stamford Bridge with 3 points. But like I said, we're good defensively, but when it comes to doing one in the final third, at least putting balls in the back of the net, we just don't do that. That's why he's scoring enough goals. We only scored 29, 29. Of course, we conceded 31 goals, which is fourth, so that's not bad. But scoring goals, it's just not that great. That's why we're 11. So we need to. I hope Lampard improves. Not only defensively but also going forward. So let's see if his 4-3-3 formation can at least beat Wolves and just destroy them because they're they're below us and they are in who are they now? Sorry guys. Let me just get this up. Wolves are in 14th place and they're 1 point behind the rest of the teams who are battling out for survival. So, yeah, other teams are desperate for Chelsea to beat Wolves. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see. Let's just see. So, yeah, other than that, it's going to be nil-nil. So, yeah, my heart is telling me Chelsea win, but my brain's telling me nil-nil. So, yeah, of course, we did beat Wolves in October under Graham Potter. That's when we used the back four, a 4-2-3 when it actually worked. But yeah, I don't know if it's four. I'm not sure if Frank Lampard's going to 4-2-3-1 the same thing or 4-3-3. But other than that, not looking forward to that game. It's going to be nil-nil. I don't see where Chelsea are going to score goals or win that game. So, but let's hope he proves to be wrong, Lampard and his players. So, yeah, nil-nil. All right, this one is very interesting. Southampton against Manchester City. Of course, of course, many people think Man City's going to get this win, but I have to tell you, I'm going to go for a shot. Southampton to win a 4-0 because Man City under Pep Guardiola don't have a really good record against Southampton and St Mary's. When these two face each other in the Carabao Cup, they've lost 2-0. I think last season they lost 1-0, or is it the season before that? I don't know. But yeah, Man City don't have a really good record under Pep Guardiola against Southampton at St Mary's. So yeah, when I finish, well, I'm definitely going to be watching that game tomorrow afternoon when the Chelsea game is over. So yeah, I'm going to go for 1-0. I feel like if their manager goes with that same formation as he did against Pep Guardiola at the Carabao Cup, then I see them beating them. But if he goes for a different formation, then I see Man City winning. So yeah, but for that one, I wanted to go for Man City to win, probably 3-1. But listen, it's at St Mary's. They don't have a good record, so I'm gonna go for a shock Southampton win. And I know that'll be pleased. That'll be pleasing for the Arsenal fans because you know if they win against Liverpool, which I'll get to in just a minute, and Man City don't win, then you have to say that Arsenal will definitely win the league. And I did say that in October, but people thought I was talking rubbish. Look where Arsenal are. Of course, if Man City do win, there will be 5 points clear with the game in hand. So there you go. So listen, I see Southampton beating Manchester City. So yeah, it is what it is. So Southampton are gonna get the win of 1-0. That's over my prediction on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that one. Right. The moving on into Easter Sunday, Leeds United against Crystal Palace. Now, of course, Leeds United did beat Nottingham Forest during the midweek. Crystal Palace, of course, did beat Leicester 2-1. So, yeah, if you look at the table, Leeds United are on 29 points. They're only 2 points ahead of Wolves, West Ham, and teams below them, and they're only 1 point behind Crystal Palace. So, if so, both teams have a must win. If Crystal Palace win, then you could probably say that they will definitely stay up. And the same goes for Leeds United because you know so it needs to be a must-win game. So if Crystal Palace continue keep on winning, and the same thing goes for Leeds United, then I see both teams surviving. But if one of them loses and they keep on losing, then that team is in serious trouble. So this game is so difficult. But since that Ellen Road and Leeds United, I'll be fighting for the lines, and the fans will be up for it. Um, it's so difficult, but I'll have to. But Roy Hodgson beat Leicester City, it's so difficult, it really is. But since it's at Ellen Road, I have to go for Leeds United win of 2-1. If it was at Selhurst Park, then I would have gone for the opposite. But this at Ellen Road, I have to go for Leeds United win of 2-1. So there you go. It's so difficult to predict because both teams are so battling out for survival. They really, really are. So yeah, Yeah, I have to go for Leeds win of 2-1. That's going to be my prediction on that one. 2-1 to Leeds United. So, yeah. So let's see if Leeds United can have a really good Easter by and also going above Crystal Palace. So let's see if they can do that on Easter Sunday. Right. And also, finally, the big game, the game of the weekend. It's Liverpool against Arsenal at Anfield at 4:30 p.m. kickoff. Now, of course, Liverpool have a really good record against Arsenal at Anfield. The last time Arsenal beat Liverpool at Anfield was in 2012. And the last time that Arsenal have done the double over Liverpool was the 09-10 season. So, yeah, it's been like decades upon decades since the last time Arsenal beat Liverpool at Anfield, and ever since they've done the double over them. Of course, they're looking to do that because remember in October when these two faced each other at the Emirates, it was 3-2. Arsenal scored the quickest goal, I think, in like a minute when Gabriel Martinelli scored, and then I think Liverpool equalised, and then Arsenal scored the Liverpool, and then they scored to make it 3-1. I think it was Eddie Nketiah, and then Liverpool scored to make it 3-2. So I can't remember, but all I know is that Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-2 at the Emirates. Now, for this game, this is another interesting stat too. Liverpool at Anfield have never ever lost. Yeah, at Anfield, the only team to do that was Leeds United when Summerfield scored that last minute winner. But Liverpool are still unbeaten. But Liverpool only lost one game at Anfield, just like Brentford only lost one game at the Community Stadium, and that was against Arsenal. So For me, as a Chelsea fan, I want Liverpool to win. But listen, they were absolutely awful against Chelsea. They got outclassed by Bruno Santos. He was never managed a game before, you know. So yeah, for this game, I hope the only way for Liverpool to beat Arsenal is a Jurgen Klopp to switch the formation, start with that 4-2-3-1 because when he did that against Man City in the first 20 minutes, they scored and they looked good. So if they want to beat Arsenal, he needs to go with that 4-2-3-1, put in that same formation and make sure you keep that way because if you go for 4-2-3-1 after you scored and then switch back to a 4-3-3, then you ain't winning. But if you keep that formation, then I can see you guys beating Arsenal. So yeah, for Liverpool fans, let me know in the comments down below if you agree on that one. If Jurgen Klopp needs to go to that 4-2-3-1 in order for you guys to beat Arsenal, if you want to have that good record. So looking forward to that one. Um, of course, I can't do a live watching on because I'll be back from church on Easter. So yeah, I can't do that one. But I will watch that game and I'll let you guys know what happened on Monday. So but this game on Sunday, a huge game, I have to go for a slight 2-1 after win, even though it's at Anfield. Listen, Arsenal are on fire. When they lost, when Bakasaka was off the bench, many Arsenal fans were worried, but guess what? They managed to beat Leeds 4-1. So even though without their best players gone missing, they still managed to win games and still pick up 3 points. So if they lose the likes of Gabo Jesus, Bakasaka, Gabo Montano, and other stuff, listen, they still got players who knows how to score, the likes of Granit Xhaka, Ben White, all of these players, William Saliba and all that stuff, Thomas Partey, they still got world-class players who can score goals. So that's why, for me, Arsenal are on fire, and they will definitely win the title for me. And that will be the first time since the Invincibles. So yeah, so listen, they're not losing their best players. I feel like their only best player they're losing is William Saliba, which is a doubt. But listen, I still think they'll be so even though they will not keep a clean sheet like they always like they haven't done since I think it was the Everton game, I feel like they'll still beat Liverpool. So overall my prediction is 2-1 to Arsenal. So yeah, but we shall wait and see on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that one. Can't do a live watching on, but I'll definitely be watching that game. So make sure you guys check out on Monday where I'm going to be talking about what happened in that game. So yeah, it's going to be 2-1 to Arsenal. It's going to be a really tight game, but I think see Arsenal beating Liverpool at Anfield because Liverpool are just terrible, but Arsenal on fire and they're being absolutely amazing to watch. So there you go. All right, guys. So that is it. That is all my Premier predictions. Let me run through them one more time. So the game. So the East. So starting off with the trophy to being kickoff, I'm going for Man United 1-1 draw between them and Everton. The next one, I'm going for a slight 2-1 Aston Villa win against Nottingham Forest in the derby, like the Midlands derby. Then the next one, I'm going for also a slight 2-1 Newcastle United win against Brentford. Then I'm going for another slight 2-1 Fulham win against West Ham United. Then I've gone for Leicester to win of 2-0 against Bournemouth. Hopefully they'll do that. Then I've gone for a 2-0 Brighton win against Tottenham Hotspur because Tottenham are just terrible at the moment this season. Then I've gone for a 0-0 between Chelsea and Wolves under Lampard. Let's see if he can prove me wrong. Then I've gone for a shock Southampton 1-0 win against Man City, and I know Arsenal fans will enjoy that one if that actually happened. Then I've gone for a slight 2-1 Leeds United win of against Crystal Palace. The last one, the game of the weekend, I've gone for a 2-1 Arsenal win against Liverpool at Anfield. So that is it, guys. That is all my Premier predictions for game week number 29. Now, before I close this video, I'd like to say a massive congratulations to the Lionesses. They just keep on winning, and this is another trophy cabinet on the Sir William. Last season, they've won the European Championship, the Women's European Championship, of course, and yesterday they won their first ever Women's I don't know how to pronounce it, Finalissima in 2023. So that's all I've been telling you guys. These women's team know how to play big, better, really good football, knows how to score goals, lots of them. And guess what? That win yesterday made 30 games unbeaten under Sir William. 30. The last time like England lost a game was 2 years ago. The last time. But ever since then, we keep on winning, winning, and winning. We had a few draws, but mostly we had some wins. So guess what? Another big win in the final. and the same place at Wembley, and big up to the crowd, 83,000 of them. That just shows you that this women's team is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single person, whether you're a Chelsea fan, an England fan, or something like that, will want to prefer to watch the women's team than the men's team. And I don't blame you. I want to watch the Chelsea women's team because they were in the title race, they were in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and they get FA Cup semi-finals. So there you go. Whereas for the men, they're not in any of those ones. Well, we're still in the Champions League, but do I see us winning that competition? No. For the men, they're still looking to win a trophy for the first time since 1966. So, yeah, but on the Gareth Southgate, just don't see that happening. And plus, look at the women, yeah? USA champions beat them. Brazil, Copa America champions last year, beat them on penalties. So this women's team, not only do they know how to win, but they also know how to beat certain big countries. Why can't the men do that? So I really hope Gareth Southgate and his team watches that game and do exactly what the women do. Because if they do, maybe just maybe they'll actually win something. But if they don't and continue to play boring and keep on losing to top countries like the likes of France, Belgium, all that stuff, then I don't know how this men's team are gonna be like the women's team, because honestly it's just not good enough, man. So I really hope the men watches that game and do the exact same thing, beat certain teams like France and all that stuff, and maybe you'll just be the favourites to win something. You know, these women's team, since they will keep on winning and still unbeaten, guess what? There's a World Cup coming up, the FIFA Women's World Cup, and they are my favourites to win that. They are my favourites. It's going to be tough, it really is, but they are my favourites. We're still unbeaten, 2 trophies under Serena Williams when she first came in, and we're achieving big things. So they are my favourites to win the World Cup, absolutely. So well done to the Lionesses. Good luck for the World Cup, and let's see if you can prove um why these prove to the men of why you should be doing the same thing as well. So well done to the Lionesses. So proud of you. So proud of you. Well done. Well done. And even it took the likes of penalties in order for England to actually win something. For the men, we had chance to win a European Championship, but we bottled that one. We absolutely bottled that one. But at least this women's team doesn't know how to bottle things. Of course, when we scored the late equaliser, I was heartbroken. But I was hoping and praying that this women's team cannot do what the men's team. And guess what? They haven't. And guess what? They didn't bottle it. They've won on penalties 4-2, and they beat Brazil. I lifted another trophy, so there you go. So Lionesses, keep doing what you're doing. I'll continue to support you all the way, and I'll continue to celebrate with you and all that stuff. So well done, and keep doing what you're doing, because you are honestly the best team to watch. Honestly. So well done to you. Alright guys, enough of that. Time for me to close this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you do, let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't, and also click the like button if you also did, if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you're new, click the subscribe button below, hit the bonus notification so that never miss any of my YouTube content, and make sure you click the share button so that you guys can give your thoughts and opinions of my predictions. And what's your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below, and if I have time, I'll react to them and see if and ask you why you predicted, like say like a Chelsea win or maybe like a Liverpool win and all that stuff. So yeah, so make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below what's your prediction. Right guys, I hope you have a great Easter weekend. Good luck to all of your teams. Have a great Easter weekend, and yeah, see you guys next time when I'm going to be with you in game week 29 in the Premier League. So yeah, I think no, sorry, game week 30, I believe. Sorry, let me have a look. Yeah, Gameweek 30. Sorry about that. Always keep on making stuff confused. So Gameweek 30. So make sure you guys check it out on Monday. Right, guys. Have a great Easter weekend. See you guys soon. And as always, take care of yourselves. Have a great day and peace. I'm out of here.